came to the wrong place. I'm all about blood, nukes, earthquakes, and serious action. But most importantly, big fucking guns. They call me Hellgore, and I'm here to take things back to basics.
If you have been following this channel at all, you know that I play a lot of indie shooters. One shooter that has been on my wish list since it was announced back in 2018 was Cybot Studios' Hellbound. I was really looking forward to Hellbound, watching whatever trailers and teasers I could find, seeking out development news if I could find it, and I played and really enjoyed the survival mode demo that they put out. Hellbound promised to be this old school, tough as nails, fast as fuck, blood-soaked, adrenaline-pumping, 90s style first-person shooter with a modern graphical style and a near non-existent story. Sounds perfect, but did it deliver?
Enough introduction, let's do this.
As advertised, Hellbound pushes its story off to the side. It's there as text during loading screens, and that's it. From what I can gather, you take control of Hellgore, who was resurrected to save humanity from a demonic invasion. Hellgore really is a character ripped straight out of the 90s, often spouting vulgarity-filled one-liners and presenting himself as nothing more than a gun-toting badass demon slayer.
I'll turn this breeding ground into my killing ground.
Which is exactly what we've come to expect from retro first-person shooter protagonists. You take the fight to hell and kill every motherfucker in your way. I agree that hell is definitely becoming a bit of a tired trope with the retro FPS genre. It's always either hell and demons, aliens, Nazis, or some combination of the three. Regardless, killing demons is badass, and it's no less badass in Hellbound. Music is also really solid, with sick metal riffs composed by David Level and featuring artists like Zardonic, announcing your carnage-filled parade through hell. Graphically, the game looks pretty good. Level environments are detailed and lively, and hell looks pretty colorful and exciting to walk through. Guns look unique and cool too, though their use is pretty generic. You have two melee weapons, your fists, and a spiked mace called the Head Crusher. Then you have an assault rifle type weapon, the triple shotgun, the Indolora, which is this game's chain gun, and a rocket launcher. I was a little disappointed to see no crazy or unique gun types, or no super BFG type weapon. Every gun has a secondary fire too. The rifle and chain gun merely lets you zoom in, the triple shotgun lets you shoot all three shots at once, effectively turning it into the super shotgun. The Head Crusher can be charged for a power attack, and the rocket launcher shoots grenades. Gameplay follows standard retro shooter affair. You traverse a map, collecting health, armor, ammo, and guns, killing enemies at high speed, and searching for secrets. Apparently there are secrets because it has a secret count at the end of each mission with a splash screen ripped straight out of Doom, but I never found any secrets in my entire playthrough of the game, so they are really well hidden. Level design in general is honestly kinda generic and not as good or creative as games like a Medieval or Dusk, but they serve their function. In all honesty, I really enjoyed the game from the gameplay perspective. It's kind of a blend of 90s and 2000s FPS games, taking inspiration not only from the obvious Doom and Quake, but also Serious Sam and Painkiller, with open arenas and parts of maps where mini survival battles take place. It's gory and visceral, and moving at high speeds as you blast enemies into chunks of flesh and red liquid is so fun. It feels great when it works. Yes, when it works. Hellbound has several big bugs plaguing it. One is that the game is just poorly optimized. I experienced quite a bit of frame stutter in my time playing. It wasn't enough to break or ruin the game for me, but it was enough to annoy me. There's also a problem with the FOV slider. Upon death, the FOV slider will reset to default, and it would bug out the weapon zoom. It was really annoying to have to go back into the settings and readjust the FOV every single time that I died or logged back into the game. The most game-breaking bug is that it wouldn't register when I would click to shoot my gun sometimes. I would literally mash on my mouse button to fire my weapons and it just wouldn't shoot. It's so fucking irritating to be dancing around an arena trying to kill enemies, mashing my mouse without firing. And even more frustrating when not being able to fire would result in some bullshit deaths. It's something that really needs to get patched. It's really unfortunate because I don't remember these performance issues in the survival mode demo for the game. In fact, they took out some features from that demo as well, like the third-person camera perspective, at least as far as I can tell. The game is really short too. There are about 7 levels and 1 boss. I beat the whole game in 3 hours. Now, I know some indie games are really short, but $15 is pretty steep for a game that can be beaten in 3 hours, especially when there are other indie games that provide more content for cheaper or similar price. Hellbound does have a survival horde mode, but even that is kind of janky, where after a while they just send a wave at you with infinite spawning enemies that continuously get more powerful until you can no longer kill them, and just end up strafing around and running the clock. Hellbound had potential to be just as good as something like Dusk or Medieval, and while not as tight, from a gameplay perspective, I personally think it is pretty great and incredibly fun. Like I said, when the game works, it's so fun to blast through hordes of enemies. But there's that caveat of when the game works. The constant gun jamming bug is so frustrating. Couple that with weaker level design and an incredibly short game length, and Hellbound is a game that just doesn't make the classic standards. Now, many of the problems can be patched out. The frame issues and the mouse click bug should be fixed. If they release more levels, I will definitely play through them, and I hope that they do because the core gameplay is a lot of fun. It just needed a little bit more time in the oven. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video about Hellbound. If you played the game, let me know your thoughts. If you liked the video, let me know in the comments, and please remember to like and subscribe. Bye.
I'm taking back this planet, one motherfucker at a time.